So the next pickup was another pawn shop. These are 3 apiece. I got some PS2 games. I was pretty happy about that. First one here is Metropolismania, Natsume game. Actually, this one caught my eye a few times. Usually the manual was missing or something, so I hadn't picked it up. But the Natsume, and I guess this is kind of like a city management type game, so maybe like a SimCity style game. So I'm happy to pick that up. Of course, anything Natsume I'll probably be looking at and be interested in. Next game is Hulk, PS2. And this I think was back when it was Edward Norton. Maybe? I don't know. Probably. Not sure about that. But once again, happy to pick up another movie tie-in, add to the collection. Let's look at another receipt here. Looks like this was $6 at the time. So, good pickup. Okay, and the third, the last game was Rainbow Six 3. Tom Clancy. I definitely have a lot of the Tom Clancy's already, but I didn't have the Rainbow Six. I have a few of the Ghost Recons, a few of the Splinter Cells, which definitely stand out on the shelf since they all have the same kind of spine. So that's pretty interesting. $3 a piece on those, so that's a nice little pickup. Flea market that I went to, not too much there. Sometimes with the flea markets, I can tell if they've been picked over. A lot of sports games, but it's a sign that at least there was games at some point. But this was actually pretty amazing because I went to towards the end of the flea market. They have the glass case area. Usually, if they have cartridge games, they're usually really expensive. So the first one that was in the case was, of course, a nice copy of Super Mario 64, and this is the Player's Choice Seal copy, and you can see there it's $5. So for $5, I'm definitely going to pick up a main title Super Mario 64 on the N64. Sadly I don't have it. I definitely had it as a kid, but I'm sure a sibling has it or it got sold at some point, so happy to get it again. And same with the next one for the N64. Donkey Kong Country 64, another $5, you can see there. Both these are in pretty good condition, a little dirty. The pins, I don't know if I can get a good hit there, but there's a little dirty as well. Not terrible, but pretty amazing to get both those for $5. They definitely at least go for $20 normally, that I'd see anyway. 2 PlayStation games. So the first one here, Test Drive Off-Road. I'm not sure what it is about the test drives on PS1, but I have 3 of them. I have like 4 or 5, and then this, this now, Test Drive Off-Road. Not sure why that is, but they just seem to be very common. I feel like I see them a lot too. If someone has PS1 games, even usually it's a test drive. So, but it's still good to pick up. Might as well have it for the collection. PS1, definitely one that I might go for full collection. But compared to PS2, I have maybe 40 PS1 games, and then PS2 I'm well over 200. So there's a big difference there. The next one I did pick up from Disc Replay store, which is like a Midwest reselling type of store. I went in there while I was searching around just to see what they had, and picked this up for 2, a perfect weapon. The perfect weapon. The perfect weapon. What made me pick it up really was just the fact that the Fun House video on this one, when they played it during demo disc, was hilarious.
Here they come.
Here we come. You're the perfect weapon, lords. Fight mode activate.
Ow!
Oh, oh no, you're in bite mode.
They're eating me.
Oh, they're tackling you.
Ow! Ow! Turn around. God, you gotta
Keep kicking them, Lawrence.
Shit.
Kick them.
I'm the perfect weapon! Ah! Damn it, fuck. What the shit?
He just
Why did he
just
explode?
keeps shouting, "I am the perfect weapon!" as the dinosaurs claw out his throat.
The perfect weapon.
So yeah, that's really the reason I picked it up. Let's be honest, not just to have it in the collection, but just because of that video. So that's another good pickup. But you know, $2. If they're gonna go down that low with the price, just because I'm sure it's not a very popular game or rare in any sense, I'm gonna pick it up because that's how much I would pay if I saw it anywhere else. So why not? All right, the next one was also from that same disc replay store. I saw it for $3. Brave, The Search for Spirit Dancer. I'm definitely willing to pick up these action adventure type games. You know, I'm sure it's $3 because it's probably not that great, but I haven't played it. And for $3, you know, I'm gonna pick up a PS2 game that's complete. It's always good to get it from a game store too, because they either take in something that's already in good condition or they do resurface them. And that's what they actually do really like about disc replay stores, is that even when you buy them, they'll look at the disc, because of course they have to get it out of their shelf, and then they'll say, oh, it looks a little scratched, let me run it through the resurfacer. And that's great because I don't have a resurfacer, so please. Okay, so the next two pickups are also from a flea market, and just nice little prices on them. So the first one was MotorStorm Arctic Edge, $2 on there, you can see. Such another, you know, multi-vehicle racer. Nice to pick up, $2. I don't know, MotorStorm is, I felt like, for some reason I felt like MotorStorm was one of the newer kind of racing franchises, I guess you would say. But I guess it is as old as PS2, and it might even be older than that. The next one from that same flea market, you can see, is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, $3. Always nice to see that. I actually haven't played any of the Uncharted games, but you know, of course, I've heard good things. You know, of course, there's plenty of them now that, you know, there's good stuff there. But and I actually got another one later on, you'll see. So that'll be nice to be able to play through those. The next pickup, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. You can see $1 there. This is definitely one where it was like, I went through a flea market, just a small little flea market, and that's fortunately the only thing I found. So I just went up to the counter and I'll take the one game for $1. But you know what? Better than nothing. Sometimes you go to those, you don't find anything, and then you leave and you're like, well, I wasted my time. But good little pickup. I think Shaolin Monks is the one where they tried to do a little more with Mortal Kombat, and it was more of like an action type game, or like a beat 'em up type. So that's interesting. See that.
Again, the fate of our world is at hand. But this time, there will be no tournament. This time, you must take the fight out of the arena and defeat these enemies in their realm.
Journey beyond the arena into a world of action and adventure. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Okay. The last three pickups I have are PS3 games. These, I wrote the price down because these are all half off. Unfortunately, there's some good games at this place, but they definitely individually priced their games because, you know, I'd see $5 on one and be like, oh, half off, that's a good price. And then on the next one, it would be like $20. There's Drakengard 3 there for $20, just kind of bummed out about because I do enjoy the Drakengard series. And so the first one is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. I just saw I got the Uncharted 2. This is the Game of Year edition as well. So picked up 3 there. That's always good. Looks like this has just multiplayer, survival mode as the bonus content. But once again, good to pick up. You know, this was 2. This actually, for whatever reason it was 5, but they put it down as 2 with the half off. But 50 cents. I'm not gonna complain about that. The next one is Max Payne 3. A good pickup. Single player and multiplayer. Actually, I remember seeing some videos of people playing the multiplayer. Is actually pretty fun. So I'm happy to get that. I know this is where they tried to change the style a little bit, but Rockstar game, always good. As you can see there, $1.50 with the half off, so awesome price. Continuing once again, an earlier game, I got Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Definitely in these later ones, I know nothing about them because I never really kept up with Metal Gear Solid, so it's all new territory for me. But for PS3, I think that's good to pick up these up. Not that they'll be worth anything one day. I'm sure if anything, the PS3 is probably only going to go down in price on games because it'll soon be where PS2 is at right now, where mostly super cheap prices except for the few rare ones. But that's my guess. I'm not knowledgeable about that at all. So anyway, those are what, $5 for 3. So good pickups on a Saturday. Up to more west than I usually go, around St. Louis, and there was a really good flea market there. This is the kind of flea market that I'm looking for, that I was really excited about, that it has a huge indoor flea market, but also has a lot of outdoor space, and the weather was, still a little cold, but it was warming up, so there was actually a lot of vendors there, and I was kind of surprised about all the prices I got, all the pickups I got. So the first pickup that I got was $4 for Populous on the DS X-Seed game. So I was happy to pick that up. DS is one that I haven't really been picking up too much for, but I'd like to pick up more, and it's good to get a game like that. I do enjoy Populous, so it'll be interesting to see the changes for the DS version. And I think X-Seed games are always good to pick up. So the next pickup was Burnout 2 Point of Impact for the PS2. Adding to my Burnout collection on the PS2. I think this is my third Burnout game. And this is only $2, so I picked it up. I noticed with, outside vendors, the sad thing is that a lot of them, their games are, either sun faded, or they're just wet. You can tell that they left them out when it was raining. It's kind of sad, but I guess that's just how it goes. I'd seen that in some other pickup videos. You'd see that people would have really sun-faded games or wet games, and sometimes they still have the prices the same, but you ruined the game by leaving it out. Ruin the quality of it, at least. Those are two good little pickups. At that point, I went inside, and I had a lot of situations where people had tables of usually like toys and things like that, but then they would have some random games just slipped in. So I bought these 3 for $15. This was a deal where most of them were priced at $7, and I just picked out 3 and said, what do you do 3 for $15? And they were fine with it, so that makes it better for me. So the first pickup of those 3 was Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. This is definitely one that is kind of one of the iconic N64 games to me anyway, just because I remember playing it, renting it probably more than once. A really good N64 Star Wars game. It's got some marker on it, but I think I'll be able to get that off pretty easily on the top there as well. But happy, $5 if I'm picking up good N64 games. I'm happy with that. I think recently you probably saw I got Super Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64 also for $5. So definitely getting those key N64 games, which is good because I started out with like 2. So I'm now getting closer to 10. The next $5 pickup was War Gods. Actually, I haven't played War Gods, but it is one I feel like I see a lot. With usually like $15, $20 on it, something like that. But this one's in good condition, a little dirty on the back, but overall good condition. The thing I like about this flea market is finding a few games and just saying, will you go a little lower for if I picked out a few, and they would normally do it. And the third game I picked up, Lethal Enforcer. Now this one had, let's see, yeah, I did originally have 7 on it, and of course I paid 5. SNES, some of them I don't know they're worth as much 5. I don't really know the price on this one, but it kind of enabled me to do the 3 for 15 bundles, so I'm sure it was worth it. And it's nice to add another one to my collection. So the next 3, I got the 3 for 12. They had $5 on them a piece, so it's just shaving off a little bit and getting it better at a price where I'm happy about. So the first one that I got was Track and Field. Just the first Track and Field. I have the second Track and Field, but I'm just grabbing the first one. You can see the 5 on there, but got it for 4. And then the second one was a copy of Scooby-Doo Mystery. This one, the label is a little bit, you can see it's a little bit damaged at the top, the bottom's peeling, but otherwise it's in good condition. I guess it is missing the back label. But, I'm getting these for 4, so it's a good deal. The third one's actually kind of the more interesting one, just because I've never seen it before. Lost Dimension. It's got these huge stickers on them. I should be able to get the top sticker off there. And it's got a huge family video sticker on the back, but that should be easier to get off. But yeah, I haven't heard of Lost Dimension. Another good pickup to get. As long as I can get this top off, then it should be pretty good without ruining the label. And that was the first set of pickups. So yeah, 4 on the DS game, 2 on Burnout, and then 5 for these 3 and 4 for these 3.
I've seen pulse cannons and gladiator droids. I've seen Beggar's Canyon and Imperial sewers. I've seen dead ends and infinite space. I've seen 360 degrees of tomorrow, and for once, live to tell about it, because I've got the ultimate fighting machine.
Alright, so the next pickup was another, similar to the last few pickups where it was just someone who had, this one was actually kind of interesting because they had just a shelf of random stuff, and they were like, everything on the shelf is $4 or 3 for 10, and there were some games there. I was very excited to see the games because of the first 2 here. The first one, Samurai Warriors 2. I'm happy to pick up the Samurai Warriors. I haven't gotten to play them before, so and I have the first one, so picking up the second one was a good pickup. And these are all complete, of course, as I would expect, and the disc is in great condition. And usually these types of games too, the Dynasty Warriors you'd see for a little more. So, and the second one, right after it's Samurai 2 Empires. So I believe that's the strategy, more strategy focused version of it. So that's exciting to get. Once again, complete. This good condition. So I was happy to get that. So yeah, I saw those 2 right beside each other. Like, oh, dang, that's lucky to get both the Samurai Warrior 2 games on the PS2. So the third game is I was like, well, I need to get the 3 for 10 so I can get these at a little over 3. I was having trouble finding what I thought I should buy after looking through and kind of looking back. I was like, well, I guess I'll pick this up just because I don't have it complete in box. And I'm sure it's worth it to get it. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with the complete box there. And the price on the sticker was $8, so at first I didn't think they were going to do the 3, but it was on the table, and so they wanted to do 3. And so I did it as a part of that deal. And I already had Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but I didn't have the case or the manual, so it's kind of exciting to pick it up. It's good condition too, so You know, that's the funny thing is that, you know, if they didn't have the 3 for $10, I probably wouldn't have picked it up just because I'm not super collecting for Genesis. Just because I didn't really have one growing up, you know. But complete in box with everything, I think it's definitely worth it. So those 3 were for 10. The next pickup was from someone a group that was actually more of a games vendor. They had, you know, movies as well, but they definitely had a lot of games. A lot of their prices were pretty high. You know, that they knew the prices on stuff. So these I bought from five games here, and they kind of had some prices between 5 and 7. So I asked them if they would do 20 for 5. And they came back with 25 or 5 for 25. So I went for it, just because some of these games, you know, they're definitely worth 5. I'd say there's some good titles here for the PSP. So the first one I picked up was Dynasty Warriors Volume 2. You can see there it had 6 on it, but I got it for 5. You know, I'm excited I recently got a PSP, so I'm excited to get more games for that. Getting a nice little collection of PSP games. The next one didn't have a price on it, but I think 5 is definitely going to be good for Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. You know, and all these are complete once again, so definitely making sure to get that if I'm going to spend $5. You know, I'm going to make sure it has the manual and is in good condition. So the third was Naruto Shippuden Legends Akatsuki Rising. You know, I didn't realize how many Naruto games there are out there, like for the generations. Because on PS2, you know, I'm already up to 3 Naruto games, and PS3 I think I have 1 now as well, and now I have this for the PSP, and I actually have another one coming up for the PSP as well. But I mean, I know Naruto is popular, but I didn't realize how many games came out for it, fighting and like action fighting as well. So the next one, once again, is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Heroes. And I think there's like Ninja Heroes 3 and Ninja Heroes 2, and kind of amazing. But you know, blatant box, and I think the Naruto games, I generally see that they're usually selling pretty high, so I think $5 is a fair price for that. And the last of the PSP games here is Lord of the Rings Tactics. Kind of interesting idea here, to have a tactics game based around Lord of the Rings. I do really enjoy those types of games, so I've been wanting to pick this up. So that's complete as well. And I think definitely something like that would be worth $5. As you can see here, these two just didn't have prices on them, but I was happy to pick them up. So, no, not a crazy deal, but I got price money off on some of them, and you know, $5 is a good price. So, definitely expanding my PSP collection.